Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Gamer, and we are returning to our Motorsports Manager series, where we are trying to, as the underdogs, rise up through the ranks and potentially beat the incumbents. So let's see how good that is going to work. We're going to advance time over here. Very soon our first design gearbox that we have started to design is going to finish, and that's nice to see. So, that does remind me, I do actually need to do some other things. But, so first things first, we have a new gearbox here. You can see its reliability is very low as they tend to come out of production. And this is our first new part, so this is not an original part, but this is somewhat better. But we do need to work on its reliability. The reliability of this part is extremely bad. I would also like to bring up its performance a little bit more, but we are going to incredibly invest in raising its reliability as much as possible. It's not going to work out extremely well, so let's do the math over here. We can do 6% improvements per day. The race is in 4 days, so that's going to be at least a 24% improvement, 24 percentage point improvement, so it's only going to be in the mid-60s, which is not great for gearbox, but I think it's going to have to make do. We're also going to see some improvements here from the mechanic, but these are going to be fairly minor, so yeah, I think that's fine. Let's look at designing a new part then. I think one of the other areas that we identified that is going to be very useful is, well, we have Munich coming up where acceleration is extremely important, but I think for now what we do have to do is actually design an engine. And I've been thinking about this quite strongly. We have two options here. We can go for a risky engine at first, so risk a rule break, but get an engine that has huge performance potential and some reliability. Or we could just go with a plain sort of vanilla, I don't think it's very exciting engine. 93. How are our current engines looking? I think they're around 80. Yeah, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go for 3 engines, because there might just be a very good engine on the card. So if we are building 3, we can fit 3 parts. We will not be able to do a great one because we don't have the facilities. We're going to look at our headquarter in a second, but for now I think we're going to go for an early risky one and then 2 slightly better ones that we'll be using for the long term. That's going to cost us quite a bit actually. 1.5 million, let's build this part. It's going to bring us very negatively down into the drain financially, but I think we'll have to just do it. Yeah, let's confirm this. We're going to make some money through sponsorings and all of that. We're going to get an angry email from our board manager in a second, but you know what, I think that's alright, because we do need engines, definitively. Good, so all in all, I'm relatively fine with our drivers, but we should go ahead and start scouting. So overall on the drivers, we don't know the ability of anyone yet, basically. So the first thing I want to do is start out scouting on the unemployed drivers, because we might be able to figure out something over there. And it's going to take a couple of days, but all in all, that's going to be fine. And then afterwards we are gonna check on the drivers that are in our very own series, which is gonna be European. There we go, European Racing Series, and these are basically these guys. So let's scout them out as well. Wait, did I just click on them? Yep. That's nice that I can create all of that up. Good. Yeah. No. You're actually Asia Pacific already. It's not that many. Ah, damn it, I did that slightly wrong. Okay, so I'm gonna fix that in between episodes, so it doesn't matter too much now. Good. Right, so that's the scouting about these guys. We also noticed that our race mechanics aren't looking exactly great. So I think we'd like to get a new one over here as well, and there are a couple of unemployed ones that we could look at. So there's Becky over here. She's very bad chemistry, so her rate of improvements with... oh, tire changes are faster, that's nice to see. So her rate of improvement wouldn't be that great. Her pit stop ability could actually be better, so that's how fast pit stops are going to be. It's not that great, honestly, but she has some room to grow. There is Kevin over here. Kevin is much better. He's not that great at improving or reliability, but super soft tires, remove red zones. These are not very great, but these things here are very nice, especially pit stops and part fixes. Concentration 8 is good. I would like to keep an eye on you, sir. Then we've got Samantha over here. Concentration, pit stops. You're sort of middle of the ground, ultra soft. Part condition fixes are nice, but I don't think that crucial. Let's look at Trevor. Concentration is actually extremely high, and that's good because we don't have a good pit stop team. And that could save us quite a bit. And you're actually very good at pit stops. Ultra soft tires. A new engine mode. I think Trevor here might be interesting, so let's approach him and see whether he's gonna work for us. And let's start negotiations. So you'd be coming in at, we basically can do an expectation management over here. So wages are fairly important to him, so that's relatively long. You'd like a long contract, he would like a signing fee. Bonus size is not important to him. So maybe go in with 30,000. Fairly important, might be. And he would like a nice signing fee. I don't think we are that squeezed for signing fee, so let's say 30,000. I'm fine with that. So let's send out that proposal. Do we have anyone else? Carlos over here. You might be... You're relatively good on concentration. I like that. Pit stops is not so much your high spot. Chemistry, tire changes. Pit stops are good, but with that chemistry level, you take a while to really become relevant. So now I'm not that keen on you either. Which brings us back to Kevin. We can also ask the people who are already working in our series, because they are there, and that is interesting. So Rachel over here with her low concentration, I don't think that's good for us, even though she has a lot of room to grow, but concentration will be fairly important for us. Billy. Part fixes aren't good, but pit stops are great, and chemistry is also nice. Soft tires wear more slowly, that's good. Extra engine. Would you be interested in working with me, I wonder? Billy. What's that, Billy? Let's mark you down. We've got you over here. Pit stops, concentration, part fixes. You are very good. Reliability and performance. I don't care about that much. About this that much. Medium tires. That's very good. And mistakes chance. You'd be very good. You're sort of at the end of what you can do, though, I think. Can we approach you? Yeah. So wages are important. I prefer medium contract. I prefer you to pay it all. Okay, so there's a buyout clause, which is understandable. Of course, we can pay for that, and I would be fine. She would like to, and that is quite important to her as well. So if we were to finish in 5th position or above, I can promise you, ooh, that's a lot. I can promise you quite a bit. I don't think this is gonna fly, but let's try. We're gonna send out a couple of leads here, just to make sure that we are getting good potential. How about Alex? You've got good growth potential as well. Concentration isn't good, but part fixes, all of that is nice. What are your bonuses? Sweet spot and car condition. Again, I would like this to be here. Ooh, you're improving extremely quickly. You're improving extremely quickly. How much would we need to be paying you? Important, medium. Yeah, of course, we'd be paying that. Again, if we get 5th or above, I'm gonna pay extra. a nice signing on fee. I think we're not too concerned about that. Are important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that would be okay. Who else have we got? Alex, Tom, no. No. Basically concentration below 7 is not going to be acceptable to me, I think. Billy. Billy. Soft tires wear more. I mean, this is a great unlock and it comes in relatively early. And your chemistry is good. You wouldn't be good at fixing parts. And you don't have that much room for improvement for concentration. That is the only thing that I'm slightly concerned about. 7 is already relatively low. Alex here has only a 7, but he can grow much beyond that. Yeah, and all of you are even worse. It'd be pretty nice. How about you then? Pit stops, chemistry, you basically would never do. Tire changes, that'd be great. But your chemistry is so bad, so you'd be developing very slowly with your driver. Performance and reliability, I don't care about these that much. They basically help us improve parts, but that is a very good concentration level. Basically means we'd be safe from 2 stupid mistakes. And tire changes are a major part. Pit stops 8 though is not that great. How about Oscar, who we actually asked? No, sorry, Alex. Yeah, you're 12. So maybe not. No. Oh, look at that. 19 and 18. You'd be god at the pit stops. You'd be great. Your chemistry is gonna take some while to develop, and you're not that great at fixing parts. But I do hope that we can get around that. So let's approach her as well, and that's fine. So yeah, that's important. Medium, even split. Interesting. I'm all for that. We can do a sign-on fee. Yes, bonus, only 5th place or better. And maybe some, I don't know, like that. 50,000, okay. Yeah, let's try to do it like this, and that is, I think, good enough for a couple of mechanics. I'm fairly happy with the lead designer, so we don't need to make any changes there. For the driver, I'm gonna wait for some of the scouting reports, and that should be okay. Good. So where do we look in terms of timing? Yeah. We are going to travel to the Black Sea soon, and we're going to get a very angry email from my manager here, as we are very dark in the red over here, and that's not good. Good. I spotted a number of transactions, that's not great, and there we go. So let's say I got that. I totally didn't. Let's pause here. Let's have a look at our sponsors then. So before we go and move up to the first thing, we might have to decide what sponsors we have. We basically have 6 slots, for example the Golden Tiger slot over here, and we've got the Shy Girlways over there. So these are the spots that we currently have. There are a couple of empty ones as well, and we have a couple of offers available for them. So let's look at the race. Let's look at the one over here first. So fixed payment sponsors. We could go with either of these, and they would all give us different benefits. So this one would pay us 1.5 million for 11 races. That's nice. That's about 150,000 or so per race, I'd say. Yeah, a little bit less. This year is also 150,000 per race, but with an additional upfront payment. So I'm slightly more inclined towards this one. Or we'd have this one over here, giving us even more per race with an upfront payment that is slightly lower. So we are currently looking in financial troubles, so I'm not too sure which one is the best one over here. So divide that by basically 10. So you've got 40,000, so you're at nearly 200,000. So These almost look identical. Not quite. I mean, this is slightly less, but it's a little bit more front payment, and it's only going to last 9 races. So I'm going to accept this offer here. It's going to give us 400,000, and going to mean we are slightly less red. Then for these ones over here, we need to be a little bit more careful, because here we can only pick one of these per race. So currently we have the Golden Tiger one, and if we come in 13s or above, we will be getting some bonus. That's nice. We'd be getting a bonus of 200,000. On this one over here, we'd have 2 offers. To get 2nd or above, honestly, I don't think that's viable for us right now. So in between these two, if we got 2nd or above and we got 1 million, that'd be brilliant. But I don't think, I'm not going to bet on that. We are one of the last teams in the league, so no, I don't think this is viable at all. On the other hand, over here, if we do get 2nd or above, we could do get 800,000. Again, same story. I don't think we are going to achieve that. But we are also getting an upfront payment of 1.2 million. And that I'm going to take. I'm going to gladly take. Even though we're never going to reach that. And then over here on slot 5, we've got a target... Ooh, this one is more interesting. So target position of 5th or above, if we do get that, we'd be getting 800,000. Or we'd be looking at 8th or above, and we'd be getting 500,000. So this is 300,000 more. So let's suppose in 2 out of 3 races we'd be getting this, which is very much stretching us. I mean, 5th or above, that's out of a pack of 20 drivers. So that'd be, say, 2 out of 3 times we get that, 1.6 million. 3 out of 3 times we get that, which still is ambitious, we'd be getting that. I think we're going to go with this one. We are going to aim for the higher standard over here, and that I think is nice. It would also be great to have an offer for this one over here, but we don't, so that's okay. There is an email that is irrelevant, that's someone else in our league, and we are traveling to the Black Sea now, so that's nice to see. Balance is still hugely negative. We do have our 2 drivers over here. Our chairman is happy. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, there's another sponsorship offer. What have you got? 350,000 per race. It's not bad. It's an okay deal. Do we want to get the 300,000 right now, or do we want to see whether we are going to get a better deal next time around? Okay, let's suppose we are getting 100,000 more per race. That'd be still worthwhile, right? I mean, holding off on that is clearly worth 350,000, so let's wait. Let's wait. Good. So we need to pick which one we do want to fulfill, and I think we're going to go for this one. So Chifre over here. Chifre? Hifre? I don't know. Chifre probably. 5th or above. That's stretching it by a very high ratio. We have very bad cars. 200,000, that's much more achievable. But if there's only 1 in 4 chance that I think that we are going to get that, maybe we're going to be fine. So let's fit the parts over here and see what we've got. So we've designed this new gearbox. It's still not quite as reliable as I would like it to be, but let's give it to Mustafa over here, and he's going to try to run on this one. And I think other than that, most of the other items are not that drastically different. I think let's make a switch over here, because this one is slightly less reliable, this suspension. And that's alright. You have the slightly more reliable engine, that is okay, because you also have the slightly less reliable gearbox there. There's no difference here. You guys are content with that, because while we don't have very great parts, you are very much fine with how your car looks compared to the other guys, so that's okay. Right, and with that, I think we can finally start the race. So it's going to be on the Black Sea over here in Russia, and here are our predictions for race day and all of that. Russia, as we can see over here. It's going to be a round 1 out of 10, so it's only going to be 10 rounds. Interesting. You can see a little preview of the racing track over here. So this is the first of 10 tests that we hopefully will achieve. So this is the racetrack, and it's beautiful and all of that. I should have paid attention to that. Damn it, there's the first thing that I missed. So the first thing is practice. You basically always have 2 days. Practice day and the actual race day. And now I missed whether it's going to be on the non-race day, and that is important. Nevertheless, first thing is we're going to pick drivers here for the race, for the practice session. And we're going to pick a car setup. And the car setup, you can see, has different parts and tweaks. So what you need to do is you need to decide on the downforce, the handling and the speed balance, whether it's going to go into either of these directions. There's always a mechanic recommendation, and the mechanic recommends much more downforce on this track. So we are going to increase the angle on these things here a little bit. Speed balance now looks a little bit off, so they decide, or they think at least, that speed balance is more important. So we are going to change the gear ratios over here and to a much higher value, I think, than we currently have. Maybe over here is fine, I think. Let's try that, and with the handling I've basically no information, so I'm going to stay right there. It's not necessarily that in the middle of this bar is going to be the best position. After that, you have very good smoothness, so I'm going to send you out with super soft slicks. So that means your car tires are going to be extremely soft, but that means they get worn down more quickly. You can see they're only estimated to last 7 to 9 laps. These guys are estimated to last basically 2 laps longer, but they have a little bit higher performance than these guys, and speed seems to be relatively important on this track. So we are going to send you out with these guys. Fine. And you know what, you can do the same, and I think your setup is, you know what, since since this is a track that seems to have a couple of long straights, I think I want to bring this down here a little bit, and I think I want to increase that here a little bit more towards top speed. Fine. Same tire choice with you, even though your smoothness is not nearly as good. Good, and let's actually take the practice, because it's important to see how that works. We have got a 3D overview here. Let's send out this guy, and I think we are going to send him out with slightly more fuel than usual. And that's fine, so send him out. And also, of course, send out the second guy, likewise with a little bit more fuel. And there we go. So here you can actually see for the first time how this game looks. And I think it's raining a little bit, so that's why there are a couple of drops like on the track and on the screen. All in all, it's a beautiful game, but I much prefer this view up here. This is much more abstract, but I just like it. It just feels more management style game to me. It's a little bit simplified, and all of this 3D rendering, I don't think it's that important. Let's accelerate time here a little bit and see whether our drivers are going to say anything with their little blurbs over here about the current setup, and just watch them improve their setup as time goes by over here. Can accelerate a little bit faster. Downforce feels bang on. Nice job. I'm not getting any speed on the straights. Do we have too much aero? Okay, too much aero. That is interesting. I would not have expected that. Okay, let's accelerate time here more. See whether anything else is going to come up. Otherwise, let's bring you in on the next lap. New setup level unlocked. Oh, there was a little cutscene. So you're now up to medium setup knowledge. Which is of course nice. Too much roll in the car. Handling feels too soft. Okay, that is interesting, and that we will try to remedy. So, too soft you say, and I think a little bit too much aero. So here's our knowledge gate. And here is the current setup. So this is an 80% okay setup. You can see basically it's a little bit so-so. Too much roll, he said. What does that mean? I think we probably want to turn the handling down a little bit. So let's get here on the stiffness. Let's bring that down a little bit significantly. With the downforce, I'm tempted to not go all this way and instead maybe come up a little bit over here. That will also put us a little bit off from the good sign, which might not be great, but let's see whether that is going to improve the situation a little bit. And then we're going to send you out again. So yeah, let's continue and send you out on the same tires. And now we can bring you in, Mr. Young, over here on the next lap. Perfect gear ratios, you say? Well, that's nice to hear. I'd like to get a little bit more direct feedback from you, though. He's coming into the pit there, and we say that this car is a little bit better set up. So this is an 86% grade, okay, great car. Now, and I think the handling does need some change. So let's bring you down there. Let's tweak the downforce here a little bit. Let's bring it up a little bit. Maybe we're going to find out something. Continue. And you know what? 4 laps I think is fine. Good. Let's bring you up here. Let's see whether we are going to get a new setup knowledge here. And I think we might be able to do that on this very turn. Do we? Downforce tweaks are nice. Okay, let's do that. You have gained a new set of knowledge over there. So let's bring you in and learn a little bit more about your car. And, oh, send out again, of course. So we are gaining some knowledge over here. We have now high knowledge, so these green things here should be shrinking a little bit. Did I just see them shrinking and then sort of not do that again? Anyway, okay, you can see we've improved by 10 percentage points already. So from good, okay, good to good, excellent, good. So excellent is definitely the best, that we don't want to change. And I think my prediction was pretty much right, that we did move in the right direction. On the speed balance down there, I think the change was so slight that if we go a little bit further to the right, we might be okay. And I think the same is true on the downforce. So if we dial it down on the downforce just a little bit, and in the speed balance we go a little bit more towards over here, I think that might be good. And this over here, of course, we want to tweak so that it's just where it used to be, and that is fine. Good. Yeah, and let's send you out. And let's bring you in again. Can accelerate time here a little bit. Aero setup is way nicer. Good to know. Setup level unlocked. Okay, there's your little interplay. There we go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get in. Nice. Nice. That is a very good setup for this car. So we've got a 93 over here. From great, okay, great to excellent, excellent, good. Notice that on the speed balance we were a little bit better before. We were at a great before. Now we are only at a good. So that does lead me to believe that we want to bring this down here a little bit to more or less where it used to be. Maybe a little bit lower even. So let's try to do that. Speed balance needs to come down. I think that's on the stiffness then. No. On the gear ratios? No, of course on the gear ratios. You need to come down. So you'd be slightly beyond. I mean, you were already at a grade. That's a grade. That's a good. Can I bring you down a little bit more? I think I can play between these two. 15.7. Yeah, that only brought you down just like minimally from there. If we go to this place though. Now that might be a little bit too much. Let's dial this down carefully. Like that. This one we need to change as well. Let's go to this place, I think. Right, and then we are a little bit lefty. I think that's fine. Yeah, let's go for 2 laps. And I think that's good. We only have 3 minutes to continue to do this anyway. So let's bring you in again as well. To just do some minor tweaks. I think that's probably going to be the last lap that we are going to use you. Send you out. Okay. So some respects that was not an improvement. And notice that we are still on an excellent, but we are now on a great on the downforce. So there was an improvement on the downforce, but there was definitely not an increase on the speed balance. So this used to be a good. This used to be a good. And further to the right, it's an okay. So we probably want to be a little bit left of where we originally were, I feel. So let's try to come up this way. That used to be good. It's pretty much spot on where it used to be good. Okay. Good. Great. Sorry about the noise. Okay, fine. Yeah, I think this looks very good. So let's send you out again. And you'll be fine. Good. Right, so about a minute left here. Let's have all of these guys finish on their current races. There's the final minute of this session, of this training session. Yeah, that's fine, you don't need to be quite as long. Setup level unlocked, great and high, you know what, that's fine, we're not going to bring you in again. Speed balance much better, and there we are, that's fine. Speed balance right on the money, nice to see. Aero setup feels fantastic, you're giving me good feedback, guys. And here we are on... No, not quite on race day, this is just the summary of the overview over here. Our best time was not exactly great, much worse than of other guys, up to 4 seconds. That's a long time, so we are going to have trouble over here, but you know what, I think that's alright. Let's continue and see the race day. So here you can see everyone lined up. It's going to be a dry day today. If we are going to get 5th or above between all of these 20 drivers, we are going to be fine. We have unlocked some things over here. But you know what? I think this is a very good place to put in a cut. So next time we're going to see the first race and we're going to see whether we can make it or whether we're going to fail extremely hard. I expect that later we are one of the worst teams and this is the first race, so we haven't had really that much time to improve things and turn them around. But nevertheless, I do hope to see you around for the game and the race next time. Bye bye guys.